year's first show of the 2014 TEFL Live. I have two new co-hosts with me.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, no longer Dante and Marcel. I'm your new host, not co-host, Marc Mendez, coach of the Tigers. And we got this character right here.
Guaranteed Joachin, Luckey, how's it going?
Guaranteed Joachin, Luckey, how's it? Wow. And it begins. And we got a new guy, new face of the league. And go ahead and introduce yourself, Ruben.
What's going on, guys? Ruben, Deleon, play for the Outlaws, number 21, slot receiver. And I'm on the show with Marc Mendez, like he said, and Joachin Luckey. He's also a teammate, plays on my team as well.
Joachin. The best.
Well, welcome, guys. Welcome. We're excited we appreciate you guys being part of the show, carrying on the tradition of TEFL Live. I'm excited for that and a little nervous, but we're gonna get through the show together and we're gonna have some fun. Welcome all our fans back who are regulars watching, and we'll be back here shortly to talk about this past week's games, and just stay tuned.
Finessing the plug, I run with a second, I make a touchdown. Not the money, Hall of Famer finessing no Jim Brown.
Well, welcome back. We're here to talk about last week's games, and on the docket, there's a couple that need to be talked about, and there's a couple that probably don't need any talking about.
That's fine.
So just go over the scores. Last week we had the Bucks 6, the Tigers 32. We had the Titans 46, the Avengers 0. Then we had the Outlaws 14, the Phoenix 16. Pause for dramatic effect. And then we have the Horns 40, and we have the Ducks 0. So 2 shutouts. I don't really think there's a lot to talk about with the Titans and Avengers. I think everybody expected that.
It was a blowout. True. It's true.
Clearly.
A clear blowout.
Clearly a mercy rule.
The first mercy rule of the season.
Shout out to the Titans, came out and did their thing. I think maybe we'll get into a power ranking segment a little bit later, hopefully. But so not really a lot to talk about. No disrespect to the Titans or the Avengers, but I think everybody here at this panel expected that. All right. Now the Horns and Ducks, that was another blowout. I don't know if I expected that.
Truthfully, I didn't expect that at all. No offense to the Horns, but they've been
struggling.
It's been hot and cold and struggling versus
I thought it'd be a
struggle.
close game, to be honest.
A little closer, especially with the Kennedy brothers back. I expected it to be a real good game.
But the reason that, it was personal. Those two teams, the Ducks came from the Longhorns, so I knew it'd be a little more personal. And one thing I can say about the Longhorns, man, when they play angry and with a purpose, they're one of the better teams in the league. They just got to make sure that they bring that every single week, no matter who their opponent is. And shout out to Dante, who's not on the show anymore, but he's actually behind the camera helping us produce our first show. So appreciate you. Good job on the win. And we'll definitely be talking about Dante later on our really moment.
And also his interception or his fumble recovery. I don't know exactly what happened there, but he made a contribution. He had an interception.
Game play?
I'm sure it wasn't a tackle because he doesn't tackle.
No, he doesn't make tackles. I've never seen him tackle.
Never, ever.
But that interception, he's good at the interceptions.
And see, Tay, you're still on the show, no matter what. All right.
Proud of you, man.
Now let's get into. I'm gonna bring you guys in.
That's cool.
All right.
You already
you knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
The Horns, the Phoenix beat the Outlaws. Luckey, I'll let you go first. You want to kind of explain what, when, how, why type of thing?
Truthfully, it was just their game. They came out with a purpose. They were much more prepared than we were. Obviously, I would say that we took them a little lighter than we should have. We came out thinking we were a better team because we just played the number 1 team in the league. We would say the unanimous number 1 team, and we only lost. It was a very close game, lost by 8 points. And they had struggled with the Longhorns, so we expected them to be a little weaker than what they were, and then they came out firing on all cylinders, I believe.
True. 2 words, Marc. Outlaws, as a team, we came in overconfident. Just big-headedness. I don't know, wasn't taking practice seriously. We lost for a reason. That's plain simple.
We deserve that. We really deserve to lose, but
we definitely appreciate your honesty on the camera here. As a coach, just a little coach's speak, not even a host. You can never go in too overconfident.
Right.
You already have a big enough head as it is, so there's no need to be. Never mind. But you got to prepare for every opponent. You know, the old saying, any given Sunday, anything can happen. When you do things like that, you set yourself up for failure. And you guys, you have a lot of talent on your team, and I just don't understand why it's not being put together. So hopefully you guys can turn it around and get things going there. I would like your take as we move to the I would think what was the game of the week last week. What was billed to be the game of the week last week. The Tigers 32, the Bucks 6. Again, I'm just a host, just asking some questions. What was your take? We'll go Ruben first. What was your take on that game?
All right, Mark. Well, to be quite honest, I figured the Bucks would play a better game against y'all, against the Tigers. I also feel that, like, week to week, the Tigers come in ready to play. I don't feel that the Bucks are just as a disciplined team as y'all, like, to be quite honest. I don't know. That's really all I have to say, and congratulations to y'all's team.
Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. What's your take on it?
I'm not gonna make any excuses for the Bucks, and I used to play with them, but you know what kind of team they bring. They boast about it, how they never practice. We just come in beating teams. But if you look at the schedule, like BPI, like they've been doing in March Madness, you'd see that they haven't really played any super teams up to now. And I'm not saying like that's the reason we've been losing, but we came into the league playing the two best teams.
Don't make excuses.
I'm not making excuses. We came into the league playing two best teams. And when like we were overconfident after playing y'all, I felt like after they were blowing teams out, they came in overconfident. They've been talking about y'all for how long now? How many times has Barney
last
come in
2-3 weeks?
they're ready to play the number one team and blow them out the water? Like it's always been. I mean, but they have. That's how what Eagles get you, and no excuses. But Barney did get hurt in the first half.
Shout out to Barney, man. I hope you're all right. You know, I know your ankle. We saw it on film, man. It was not pretty. I think he twisted it before he even got tackled.
Yes.
But it looked pretty bad. So we saw you after the game on crutches. Glad it's nothing major, just a major sprain. So hopefully you'll be all right, man.
And the heart of their team, RJ wasn't there as well. And if
What's
anybody
up
knows the Bucks, they know RJ's like he's the head honcho.
I'm gonna ask a question. How are you the heart of a team, but you don't show up to a game?
But when he does show up, he brings it. He's been with the Bucks for what, 3 years?
Why wouldn't you come to the game? Like I don't.
Being a major player and not show up for the biggest game of probably your season, you should probably.
He's Maurice Jones-Drew, man. Sometimes you gotta take.
Maurice shows up to his games, though.
Maurice shows up to his games.
But does he show up mentally?
I don't know. On my end, because I know I'll go ahead and talk a little bit. I felt a little disrespected by the Bucks and the fact that the way they showed up to the game, showing up kind of late. Mm-hmm. My whole team was already there, and some of them still putting their pads on right before kickoff. So hopefully they got a little humble pie. They ate it and took it, and hopefully they'll be better for it. I think they're a good team. They got a lot of good athletes, but it takes more than that to be a champion. More than just athletes. So, I think you guys can take a lesson to your team with that also.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
we had our little.
At the end of the day, man, I want this league to be full of teams with good, not only good athletes, but good, just overall teams. So we can build this league up. So, I look forward to seeing some other teams come out there. And shout out to the Phoenix. You guys play your heart out. You come every week. You drive from Bernie. You get here prepared. And I respect you guys a lot. So that pretty much wraps it up for discuss last week's matchups. If you didn't like what we said, you don't like what we said about your team, sorry, change it. You got next week, next Sunday, and give a better performance out there. And good luck to the rest of the teams for the rest of the year.
Ain't no way they can stop me now.